Account TV, proud partners of FightZone. John, obviously, thank you for giving me time today. I know you're obviously a very busy man. It's been a while since I last saw you. It was early April, wasn't it? The last FightZone show in Sheffield.
It was, pal.
How have you been since then, and what's the latest?
I've been all right, pal. Yeah, where it was our last. It was the first FightZone show down at the ice skates, weren't it? So good night, really good night. It's been all right. I've been busy, like you said. I've been busy. My wife don't seem to think I'm a very busy man, to be honest, pal. Like you tell her that. But no, we've had the amateur. So we had no pros boxing since then, but we've had the amateurs. Has just been nuts. We had our own amateur show in May. We've had kids out boxing all over the country since then. We've had a couple of kids win belts, win Yorkshire titles. So it's just been it's been manic, but a good manic. Yeah. Like there's no point opening a boxing gym and starting a squad and wanting to be ambitious and not wanting to be busy. So if you don't want to get the lads out and the lasses out, you don't want a big team, you're moaning about the gym being busy, you're probably in the wrong spot.
Of course.
So it's a really, really, really good thing. But yeah, keeps me active anyway.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, you've got amateurs in here, you've got pros. How do you manage to split your time between everybody in the gym and then still have time for yourself and your family?
Well, it took me a lot. It took me a long time. So my wife's she's brilliant, to be fair, mate. She I met Becky when in the gym. So weird story. She was like one of the first people to step foot through the gym when I took over. She was going to box for us, box for me, and then she ended up meeting me and getting pregnant, and then she reckons I ruined her career. But no, yeah. So she knows. She met me in here, so she knows the crack.
Yeah,
it's still not great. Like any boxing trainer or fighter will tell you, who's got a relationship, got kids. It's really hard to juggle. You could have the most supportive wife or girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever in the world. It's still going to put strain on you. But over the last 12 to 18 months, I've had Graham. So Graham was Mason's dad, who boxes pro for me. So he's like my number 2 in here, and he's been here for 5-6 years now, and he's class, Graham. Like if I need anything from him, I just ask him, and he's there straight away. But then also got brought Mikey on, and Mason on as 2 young coaches, and then I've got brought Dylan in, who's not got his badges yet, but Dylan, who boxes amateur for me, is going to be turning pro in September. And now I've got an old pal of mine who used to box, very good fighter back in the day, Joe Lever. Never boxed pro, but like won titles in amateurs, good kid. He's coming in the last 12 months to help me out. So over the last 12 to 18 months, I've found myself very lucky to get a very good team on.
Yeah.
So it's helped me balance my work and my home life. So now on a Wednesday, so Reggie has karate, Reggie has football, Becky does tea time and bedtime. Like most normal people, they go to work every day. They come home at 5, 6 o'clock. They help with bedtime. They see the kids before they go to bed and do that. So I'm completely flipped it, me. So I see my kids in the morning, take them to school, which I'm very, very lucky to do. Take them to school, but then I don't see them till the next morning.
Yeah.
So like on a Wednesday night, I got together with Graham and Joe and Mikey and Dylan and that. I said, listen, I'm having Wednesdays off. So they train when season's on. We have squad training Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. So as long as I'm in with them 3 times a week, and they're coming in on doing their extra training on the Tuesdays and Thursdays and stuff like that, it's up to them. It shouldn't really matter that I'm not there on that Wednesday.
Yeah.
To the fighters, I've got a good team, and I've left 3 or 4 good coaches running the gym. So they got coaching. If they want to spit the dummy out and say, oh, John's not here on a Wednesday, they're never going to do it. Yeah. Simple as that. I'm not there knocking them out of bed in the morning to get them out running, which I were at the start, and then I realised, hang on a minute, that's not my job.
Yeah.
They need to get their backsides out of bed and go running. They want to come in on a Tuesday. So I used to come in on a Tuesday and a Thursday to make sure they ran. So I'd come here, sit in here, send them running. Then we'd do some strength. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I could either be getting fighters in, pros in, your Mikeys, your Masons, or getting PTs in, or spending time with my own family. They go out and run themselves. So a couple of years ago, that's when I started thinking, you know what, I can balance my work life either way. So now I said, Wednesdays, I'm not coming in.
Yeah.
So your Mikey and Mason and Dylan and Joe and Graham, they take Wednesdays. I pick Reggie up from school, take him to karate, take him to football. I help with Ada, I help with tea. Like, I have my tea with my kids for a night, put them to bed. And then it helps Becky a lot. Anyway, it breaks the week up a little bit. Saves me earache, like we all know.
Yeah.
And then, but no, so then on a Saturday, we do 11 till 12 squad training, but we haven't got it end of the season. I give them a bit of a break.
Yeah.
And then that's me done then till Monday morning. And Reggie goes to school. I drop Reggie at school on Monday. So I've kind of had me quality. I've had me Wednesday with him. And then Thursday, Friday, miss or whatever. And then I have Saturday, Sunday with him. And then I'm not missing as much of the home life for the work life.
Yeah.
So, and at the minute, if it wasn't working, if Wednesdays were being dead and there wasn't money going in the till and the kids were messing up, then I'd have to have a think. But mate, we're winning belts and Yorkshire titles left, right, and centre at the minute. So it's obviously working.
Definitely. And you mentioned Mikey and Mason, coming into new roles as coaches. How they both taken to it?
Honestly, I'm not just saying it, right? They are two brilliant young coaches. So all I did to start with, do you know what Skills Bout is?
Yeah.
So Skills Bout, for anybody who doesn't know, it's anything. I think they do it up to the age of like 14 now, but for me, I think 11, 12 tops.
Yeah.
They've never boxed before. They haven't got no experience. They've never experienced being in a ring in front of a crowd before. They go in and do 3 1.5 minute rounds or 3 1 minute rounds. There's no decision at the end, and they raise their hand. So I just started with Mason and Mikey doing the skills bouts. Chuck them in with the skills bouts, let them learn the trade like I think every young boxer and every young coach should do. I think every young boxer should be boxing amateur before they turn pro. They learn the trade. Every coach should be coaching amateur before they coach pro, learn the trade. It's your apprenticeship, basically. So that's all I did with these. They did the skills. Then I started going in with them, handing up, which I know were nerve-wracking for them because I'm the head coach. I coach them, and they tell the coach, and I'm just washing the gum shield. And I could tell they were not sure what to do. But that's all I did. So Glenn never did it. Well, Glenn did it once for me as a pro, and that was nerve-wracking. But so Andy Manning, who's the head coach, like the head coach at Sheffield Boxing at my old gym, I started boxing at 11-year-old, and Andy Manning and Matt Mowat as well. They were professional boxers when I was young, when I was a kid. So when I first started coaching kids, and they was handing up to me, I was a nervous wreck. Oh, what if I don't tell them right? Andy's there and Matt's there, I don't know what to do. And I knew they were like that with me. And if I didn't think they was ready if they'd have thought I wasn't ready to do it, they would have told me. If I didn't think they were ready, I would have told them, and I would have kept going in with them and keeping an eye on them. Because at the end of the day, they're going in with people's babies. So I need to make sure that the coaches are capable enough to look after someone's babies, basically. So I'd go in, Graham would hand up to him and stuff like that. Right, it only took them a handful of times, and they were like, I think they did one, maybe half a season or full season. And then I said to Mikey, you take Dylan in championships. You take him, he's a senior. Mason, you take seniors on this show. You take top at Bill, you take that. And whenever I was watching them, very, very, very knowledgeable kids, which will help them in their own career as well. But they've took to it brilliantly, to be fair.
Yeah, brilliant. And I've got to ask you, what motivates you as a coach?
What motivates me as a coach is it's swapped in the last 2 or 3 years, if I'm honest. I think what motivated me firstly was it kind of got me out of bed in the morning. So when I finished boxing, I didn't finish nowhere near at the heights that I thought I was going to. What people say you should have done, yeah, whatever, shouldn't have done. But what I thought I was going to do and what I wanted to, nowhere near. So I kind of went down a downward spiral of, I went from boxing on Sky Sports, Sky shows, boxing ex-European champions in Tonchev, and I got young boxer at year 1 year over Kel and Nathan Cleverly and Amir Khan and stuff like that. To not getting to where I want to not, I won an area title, which I'm super proud of. To not really getting anywhere I are and work and labouring for £40 a day. So I was labouring for £40 a day. I was back at my mum and dad's house, living in my mum's back bedroom, what she turned into an ironing room, and to take iron out and put me a bed in for £40 a day. And it was just, I weren't in a good spot.
Yeah.
I was drinking heavy, probably 5 times a week, easily. Eating, weren't watching boxing. Everybody watched Fight Week, and yeah, I watched a good fight. I never watched it. Never. I couldn't physically watch it. So then Glyn said, "Oh, get your trainer's badge, fight an our gym." You start training kids, and that was brilliant. So then, at that time, the crop of amateurs were your Tommy Franks and your Keenan Wainwrights and Owen Durham, who's now pro at another gym, and Tegan Starr, who's flying GB now. He was like, I don't know, he was a 14-year-old kid then, 13, 14-year-old kid then or whatever. So it was brilliant because then I just like was just training then. But also it was kind of in the middle because it wasn't my gym, it was Glyn's gym. I was just helping with them. So I could still drink 3 or 4 times a week because I was just might go to Liverpool on a Wednesday night or go somewhere whatever time. So it gave me a little bit of a lease, give me a little bit of something to do, a little bit of motivation.
Yeah.
But not really enough to completely change myself. And then when I took this place over, Dennis rang Glyn and said, the gym's going to be available. Who can we get in it? And Glyn said, Fewkes. And Dennis said, yeah, right idea. Let's get him in. Glyn rang me up and says, you're quitting your job and you're taking the gym over. I went, what? What are you on about, am I? I've got an extension to finish. He went, you haven't? And then Dennis rang me and he was like, listen, Fewkes went, I've known you forever. I haven't really spoke to you for such a long time, for a while now. You need to take this gym over. Glyn says, you have to. And that's what I love about Glyn more than anything. Like a lot of people what have moved gyms or they've been with somebody and they carry on at that gym they've set their own gym up. Maybe that coach has got face on with them and this is that. He said to me, he said, this is Glyn basically words where this is my gym. Right? I love you being in here. You will always be part of this gym, but you're never going to earn any money work. You're not going to work for me. You're never going to progress at what you're doing. And he says, and you will be one of the best trainers this country's ever seen. You have to go and do it yourself now. Sorry, I'm rambling. So then that's when I took. So then him and Dennis were like, "You're doing it." So and the belief in Glyn and Dennis. Because my belief was very low. My self-esteem was very, very low. Like, I felt as if I was nothing, to be honest. Like, don't box anymore, £40 a day, getting pissed up in pub, bit of a joke. Fewkes will stay out longer than everybody. Fewkes will stay out, he'll be the last one out. Want to go out on a Sunday, ring Fewkes, he'll go out. Yeah. Like, I just felt a bit of a bum, to be honest, and I was really, really low. So then when they were doing that, even though when I struggled coming in the gym, like I was very anxious about coming in, ever. And I come in the gym, but then you have to put the front on then. And then when I just started, I had my own gym, and when I start talking about boxing, I get up here.
Yeah, it changes.
I get up here. Yeah. Like I talk all day long to thousands of people. Like with boxing, I was a bit of an anxious kid about normal stuff. Get in the ring, I'll fight anybody in front of as many, and I loved it. Yeah. Loved getting in there more than anything in the world. Right. So then that was the motivation to do it, to like get me out of that little bit of a pit and be somebody again. And that was the motivation, like get up there and then I was going to shows and people recognizing me again and rubbing shoulders with Ishan Pickering and Junior Witters and Henry Whartons and all these like top British fighters. Fuck, Fewkes, all right, pal, how's it going? Oh, these kids were a good fighter back in the day. And it gave me that like bit of a sense of esteem again. And then I boxed again in Car Park. And that weren't meant to be, but I loved the fact that I got to do it in front of these and I showed these the level you're meant to train at, and I got my weight down and put some back on, but not as much as I were, and this and that. But So that was the motivation. But now the motivations, it's flipped from like, I am a little proud of my career. I'm not really proud of my career, if I'm honest, because I just feel like I played at it and I didn't do it like I should have done. When I was training, I out-trained anybody under the sun. And then when I'm not training, I not trained everybody under the sun. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So like, I weren't professional enough. I blamed everybody on the planet who I could have blamed for me not doing it. But at the end of the day, it was my fault. It was me putting food in my mouth, me putting beer in my mouth, me not running, and me putting that weight on like nobody. I was me being unprofessional. So the motivation now. So I failed. In my eyes, I failed as a fighter. And I said that to Glenn and Dennis, and I've gone, don't be daft. Like, how have you failed? You did this and blah, blah, blah. But I failed. So my motivation now is I will not fail as being a trainer. Right. And I believe the system we've got set up here in this gym with what I've put in place in here, and then the system of what me and Dennis have got are basically like, Fewkes, you've set this little gold mine, not gold mine, because that sounds like a financial, but this little pot up here of this gym. He says, and I walk in that gym now, and it feels like a family. And then I go to Dennis when I need a bit of advice. How do we push him a bit further? And then they turn pro, and we manage them together. And then Dennis has set up FightZone and this and that, and he knows. Like Mikey might be boxing Cayman Islands, Mason's boxing Malta, might be boxing Texas. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've got this little conveyor belt, and I just feel like the knowledge I've got as a trainer from boxing, I feel like if we don't have world champions in this gym, if we don't have like a little champs camp like in Manchester with Ainsley Bingham and Steve Foster and Anthony Farnella, and we don't have what Billy Graham, Billy Phoenix gym, and all these Kronk gym and all these gyms out on the road, where you have a pot of champions, whether it's world champions, British champions. I feel like if I don't get that in my lifetime, I've failed again. So my motivation as a trainer now to miss Reggie's football matches and miss school plays and I miss birthdays with my wife and anniversaries and stuff like that. My motivation is to not fail again. Because I'll be honest, I feel like if I fail again, I don't know if I'll get me sent out of the pit again. You know what I mean? I've got my kids what will do it for me. I know they will. My kids are brilliant, obviously. And they stop me getting in that pit. But I feel like if I fail again, then I'm going to be living in there for a while.